Hi everyone, thanks for joining me on my channel. I'm Debra Dickinson and I travel in my fully remodeled camper van I call Fancy Free. She is a rolling palace on wheels. I've been a full-time nomad since 2015 and I've created this playlist called Nomad Quick Tips to share with you what I've learned on the road. Here's today's quick tip. Hi everyone, welcome to today's Nomad Quick Tip. Today is all about the interior of your rig or your vehicle and what you need to know for urban camping or stealth camping. In today's video, I'm assuming you already have your rig. If you don't, stay tuned for my next Nomad Quick Tip and where I will cover the exterior of rigs and what you need to know and give you a bonus tip round as well. In my last Nomad Quick Tip, I covered the pros and cons of urban camping and stealth camping, and I discussed the difference in the two. And I left out Home Depot and casinos and some other places that you might try. I was trying to give you just an overall view of the pros and cons so that if you haven't been out here on the road very long, or if you've been on the road and haven't been doing urban camping or stealth camping, that you would learn some pros and cons. If you want my complete list of places to consider for camping instead of just the pros and cons, be sure to sign up to be a Coco Fam patron member for as little as $1 a month. I'm going to be putting a full list on there. In that last Nomad Quick Tip, I told you the difference in urban and stealth camping. Stealth camping is where you are wanting to go completely unnoticed, and urban camping is where you are parking in places with approval and in broad, maybe not daylight, but in broad open sight. I told you to be sure and arrive late and leave early. And that remains true whether you're doing urban camping or stealth camping. It's just a good idea. But what do you do about the interior of your vehicle? Today, I'm going to be mostly addressing stealth camping, and I know that you're smart enough to know what applies to urban camping versus stealth camping, but I'm going to treat everything today like we're talking about stealth camping, and you can pick and choose from that on what applies to you if you are doing urban camping. First of all, know your ordinances, laws, regulations, and rules. Some cities have ordinances that prohibit camping or staying overnight or even sleeping in your vehicle. And so be sure that you know what the ordinance is for the area that you're staying in. That leads me to the very first thing. You're going to want your windows covered. My pretty curtains also have black on the outside of them, and a lot of people use Reflectix. I can tell you nothing screams louder than somebody's camping inside a rig or vehicle than putting up silver Reflectix in your windows. So my Reflectix also has black on one side, and I put that out toward the outside when I am going to be doing urban camping or stealth camping. I no longer put Reflectix in my side windows or my back doors because I have my curtains that have a black backing on them, and that is enough to help me with the temperature. So what do you do when you want to, if it's hot outside or if it's cold outside and you need to stay warm or you need to stay cool? Well, clearly you can't put screens on your windows and doors like we normally would if we're out in boondocking or in the wild. So screens are out. You can leave your windows partially down, and you're going to want to do that. You're going to want some sort of ventilation so that you don't get steam on the inside of your windows, because that's also a dead giveaway. And if it's cold outside, the Reflectix definitely helps. And putting the black on the outside actually helps when it's cold. But I can't run my lantern if I'm stealth camping, because that's what I use for heat. And if a car or my rig is glowing from the inside, that's another dead giveaway. And you don't want to do things that draw attention to yourself. So be sure that you have enough blankets and everything to keep you warm. And one thing that I have done when I knew that I was going to have to stealth camp is that I drove at night during the cold so that I could have the heater on in the van, and then I slept once the sun came up and it was warm enough. But what if it's hot? Going back to you can't have the screens and you don't want the silver Reflectix in there. Well, the other thing is that you don't want to run your roof fans. I have roof fans, but if I turn them on, people walking by, That's a dead giveaway that someone is in there. Also, I have a big box fan. It's a Cool Breeze, thanks to my cousins, Cindy and Mike. Thank y'all very much, and Beverly. But I can't run it if I am going to be stealth camping because it is also loud. So I have little fans that I use. So you want to minimize the noise that you're going to be making, which also means no cooking. And if you want to get up early and have coffee, just remember that you need to probably drive somewhere else to do that. Which leads me to the other thing. Sometimes I get up before sunrise and I can't turn my candle lights on. I have 5 of them in Fancy Free, but I can't turn my can lights on to have lighting if I'm doing stealth camping. Sometimes at night you can get by with the mini LED lights and that are really soft and tiny, but there again, you have to have a lot of curtains up and a lot of window treatment up to make sure that no light shines out from your rig. In addition to my window and door curtains, I have a black curtain that goes across the back. I also have a curtain just like that I put across the front, and another black curtain that I put across my side doors. So I am pretty well protected against light shining outwards. And in addition to that, if I am going to be sitting in bed and working, I have another privacy curtain that I hang up in the middle that I can make sure the light isn't shining through. Because nothing attracts attention more than if you're watching TV and the scenes are constantly changing and that light is constantly changing, and can be the same case on your phone if you are camped in a dark area. And so you don't want, or maybe you're even watching your favorite video channel. But you just don't want that changing light occurring. So if you are going to be working late, like I have to sometimes, and like I shared on my last Nomad quick tip, and I did that during urban camping, I made sure all of my curtains were up so that I drew as little attention to myself as possible. That leads me to the other thing. I was up late working and I had all of my curtains up, so I didn't mind getting a late night snack out of the fridge because that light was going to come on. But you have to think of all of that, and that's another reason that you want to arrive late and leave early. Also, since you are going to be arriving late, it's a good idea to go ahead and change into your pajamas. Some people sleep in their clothes. I can't, I'm not comfortable. I don't get a good night's sleep if I do that. And so if I am going to be stealth camping, and I've only had to do that 3 times in my 5 years out here on the road where I really needed to be off the radar and was stealth camping, and it was circumstances I couldn't help. But I made sure that I was dressed and ready and didn't have to be moving around and making a lot of noise, even changing clothes, getting ready for bed. And with that, let's talk about safety, which in and of itself is a whole other Nomad quick tip, and I'll be sharing that soon. So I'm not going to get into detail on that. I just want to share because it kind of goes with the interior that we're talking about today. Be sure that you have an exit. One of the things that I love about my new build is that I can slide the 2 drawers out that are between my seats and not even have to get in and out of my rig at night if I don't want to, or if I'm not feeling comfortable about something. Keep your keys nearby. Not all keys have a fob on them, but if they do, that can be a good alarm and can scare off something if an emergency does come up, or if something happens to you inside and you need help. That can be a good way to turn your alarm on and get help. But my cargo van does not have a key fob, but I want to keep my keys handy and ready to grab and ready to get in that driver's seat if I need to for some reason. And again, we'll talk about safety and protection in another Nomad quick tip coming up. But be sure that you have any protection that you are comfortable with nearby, whether that's wasp spray. I'm not going to go into the list here. I don't care if it's a bow and arrow. Just keep in mind that you need to have that nearby, and you need to have it out ahead of time. Don't be opening cabinets or moving things around to get stuff out once you arrive at your parking place. In my very next Nomad quick tip, we're going to talk about the exterior of rigs and things like parking places and parking tips and so forth. But let's talk a little bit about that now, because it has to do a little bit with the interior if you travel with a dog. What if your dog needs to go out in the middle of the night? So much for stealth camping, right? Well, it happens. And so what I always try to do, even if I'm urban camping, is park near on the end on a place that has a little bit of a green area or at least gravel. And especially if my dog gets sick. It's not so much true with Bandit, but my 2 senior dogs, they might need to hurry up and get outside in the middle of the night. And that way I could open the door, and not to let them out unattended or off leash, but just so that you're not traipsing across a parking lot in the middle of the night unprepared. My patron and viewer, the Nomadic Healer, recently asked me a question about what do you do in urban camping or stealth camping if you have pets that bark or make noise? And that is an excellent question. Thank you for asking, Bridget, and I'm going to answer that on tomorrow night's live chat. My wonderful viewers, do you have a question for me? If you do, leave it in the comments below or email me and I'll do my best to answer you. Or I might just pick your question to answer on my Friday night live chat. Obviously, if they make too much commotion, stealth camping is off limits. You might get by with urban camping, but there again, there are going to be some restrictions and we'll talk about that. And there again, what about your dog playing? Or if you have multiple pets or a big dog, Nani, my Ridgeback, when she used to jump off the bed, I think people 3 parking spaces away could hear her. So you've got to keep all of that in mind. And so when I am urban camping, which I've only done now a couple of times with Bandit, but he loves to play rough with his toys at sometimes. And so I take them up after dark or after we land somewhere for the night and give them back to him, of course, the very next morning, and then he's always so happy. He doesn't miss them, I promise. I'm not being mean. So like I said, be sure to watch for the next Nomad Quick Tip where I cover the exterior and a bonus point on something that you need to know, especially if you haven't bought your rig yet and you think that you're going to be doing a lot of urban camping or stealth camping. Please join me for my Friday Night Live that I'm holding every week as well as often as I can if I have signal. And I hope that you found something helpful in today's Nomad Quick Tip. And in case you're wondering why Bandit is not in this video today, it's because he's outside enjoying the sunshine. It's been a little chilly where we are, and I've called him and he doesn't want to come in and I'm not going to make him. So that's it for today, everybody. We'll see you down the road. Bye. Nomad flies.